There are some people that I look at, like Russell Brand is a conversational genius. I try to break down what people do. And with so many people, I can put their responses into buckets. Like Tom Holland is going to respond with a funny story. RDJ is going to make a quip. And you can emulate those styles and get them. Russell's spontaneity and his almost the fact that he's got so many different jokes and references that he leans into. I gush over him all the time, but I wish I could do what he could do, and I can't capture it in a simple model like I can with some other people. So there's definitely levels, and I can't do what he does under any circumstances.
He's like a lexical jiu-jitsu black belt.
Yes. And he's capable of going from hilarious commentary to very value-driven, what is the purpose of life within the span of 2 sentences, which is super attractive because that's, I think, where a lot of us live. We want to have fun, but we're also interested in the deeper meaning of things.
How would you characterize some of the trends, given the fact that you've broken down Russell Brand a bunch of times? I've enjoyed some of the videos that you've done on him. What are some of the principles that we can learn from Russell Brand, or what are some of the characteristics that he relies on?
Oh man, so there's a lot. So there's the flirtatious pre-enlightenment Russell Brand, which is, if you look at what he does, he treats everyone, men and women, flirtatiously, which is a general principle for dating. If you want to be a better flirt, you have to flirt with everybody. You have to flirt with men and compliment them. You have to flirt with the older woman who you're definitely not attracted to. And then, of course, he flirts with the beautiful women who he's sometimes interviewing, and they're giggling about it. So that's one of the things that he does, is flirts with the entire world. And what that means is he's cheeky, he's playful. He does this. We have a breakdown of push-pull where he oftentimes will give you a heartfelt compliment, but then relieve the tension at the end of it by just saying some sort of a joke that relieves the tension. And you can see what we're talking about in the video. I can't think of what he actually does right now. So that's one of the big things that he does. He also, and I guess I have never been able to figure out how and why he makes these decisions. Depending on the question that you ask him, you could get a totally ridiculous joke answer or the most sincere, value-driven, heartfelt connection that you would ever expect. And I can't figure out how and why he makes that decision, but he does, and it makes him very fascinating to listen to because you don't know what's going to come up from him.
Well, that unpredictability suggests authenticity. It suggests that there isn't an agenda behind this, because you can't predict, Russell's got asked a question about God. Here we go again with the story from when he was 5 years old or whatever.
Yeah. And there's people that I love Tony Robbins, but he is so predictable. If you listen to a Tony Robbins interview like I have, I've listened to all of them. He's got 30 or 40 stories. And depending on what you ask, you're going to hear one of those stories told in the same way with the same punchline, because as an educator and teacher, he knows that it has an intended effect. But it definitely does leave me, as someone who has watched a lot of him, wondering if I've ever seen the real him, if I've ever seen behind that performative social curtain. Still love the guy, but yeah, you're right. It totally suggests authenticity when it seems as if he's genuinely doesn't know what he's going to say before he says it. It's whatever is surging inside him in that moment.
What about the new Russell Brand post DMT, post Enlightenment?
Yeah, so I think still has a lot of it. He's not as flirtatious as he used to be. I think what he does a fantastic job of is being authentic in his positions. Like, where he stands politically, but he can sit down with a Candace Owens and be non-judgmental, not assume that she is an evil person trying to destroy the world, and maintain a playfulness and curiosity in the face of ideas that are bitterly opposed to his ideals. And I think that is incredibly rare when you see Candace Owens talk to anyone else who disagrees with her, because it's going to fall apart quickly on both sides. They're both going to accuse each other of bad faith. He's generally able to maintain a good faith vibe in any sort of political or spiritual disagreement, which I think comes from a place of actually not thinking that he has all the answers, which you can't fake.
Dude, that's exactly what I had in my head. The fact that he's got strong opinions held loosely, not loose opinions held strongly.
Yeah. So I could gush about him over and over.
What's happening, people? If you enjoyed that, then press here for the full unedited episode. And don't forget to subscribe. Peace.